Hi, I'm Romain. I'm a network solution architect. In this video, we will see how to securely deploy OmniAccess Stellar Access Point to avoid rogues and other security threats, and to comply with network security recommendation. I will show you how simple it is to implement this solution using the OmniVista network management system. More secure does not mean more difficult. Let's jump to the agenda. Today, we are going to expose enhancements to increase security in your network. During this quick topic, I will start with introducing the security issues you need to counter in order to increase the availability and the security of your enterprise network. Then, I will highlight the main benefit of the solution and why you should consider implementing it. To continue, I will expose the prerequisites for this solution and the architecture we will play with. I'm going to explain how the mechanism solution works and how to implement it through a short demonstration. Then, we will conclude with the key takeaways. Nowadays, simple segmentation of network is not enough to ensure a complete security infrastructure. You need to trust any device of your network in order to reach a high security level. Without implementing this solution, you can pretend to be an access point and send traffic all across the network. The configuration and the troubleshooting take place in a single platform. Everything is based on a web interface. It's effortless because the complete configuration is just a matter of minutes. And above all, a high security protocol is implemented for this authentication solution. This solution offers a certificate-based authentication. Last update of Stellar Access Point have a built-in client certificate embedded by default. On top of that, you have the possibility to apply this enhancement on-premise with OmniVista 2500 or with OmniVista Cyrus, which is hosted in the cloud. I've compared the default Stellar Access Point authentication with the one I'm exposing to you, and the default allows an attacker to impersonate an access point to send traffic over the network. The method used today adds a security layer thanks to an external server that will approve or not the identity of an access point. In order to do this implementation, you will need to have a Stellar AP 1200 series or higher. AP 11 series will not support the supplicant feature. The wireless client needs to be associated to a VLAN with a tag, and you will need to upgrade your access point firmware to the latest one. Here is a simplified architecture of how the solution works. First, the access point will initiate the authentication. Then the Omni switch will relay the authentication information from the access point to OmniVista. After analyzing the access point identity, the server will approve or not the authentication. Finally, if the authentication succeeds, the switch will assign the template returned by UPAM on the port the access point is connected to. Now you have a better visibility of the authentication process workflow. We can proceed to the demonstration. Welcome to the practical part of this topic concerning authentication on access point. Remember that this solution is a perfect balance between security and ease of implementation. This feature allows you to comply with network security recommendation. First, we can see that we have already created an API group which contains one access point. So we are going to edit the API group setting in order to enable 802.1x supplicant. So we enable the feature and we select built-in certificate. Then we are going to lean on authentication server we want to use. In this specific scenario, it will be UPAM, the embedded authentication module in OmniVista. So we click under Unified Access and Template to create a server profile. We can see that I have already created one. It's called Stellar Auth and use UPAM as the authentication server. To carry on, we create an Access Auth profile. In this profile, we select the server profile we just created before, Stellar Auth. You just have to enable 802.1x auth option, and finally, be sure to check the AP mode option, and the secure box need to be checked also. Then the last switch configuration step will be to create an access role profile under Unified Access, an access role profile. We are going to apply the one I've newly added. The purpose will be to map the access point to a VLAN after a successful authentication. So we select Apply to Device and we map the policy to the VLAN 1, or management VLAN. Then we select our switch. The switch part configuration is ready. The last thing to do is to push the parameters into our switch. So we go back to Unified Access template and access route profile, and we apply to the device. Then we select our switch. And we select a port or a range of ports. Once it's done, we are going to lean on the authentication module UPAM in order to create some authentication strategy for the IP group. So we go under UPAM and authentication strategy. Then, when we edit the rule, we will select the access role profile we just created before. And you have to select the local database because we are going to authenticate against the UPAM. That's all you have to do in this menu. Then we go under UPAM and access policy and we select the advanced attributes. We put it to service types equal to frame user, and we have some IP type restriction to enable and to select. So for the IP restriction, we choose IPTLS because it's a certificate-based authentication. And to finish, we select the authentication strategy we configured the step before. The configuration is now ready to be used. To verify if the AP successfully came up with the setting we set up, we go under UPAM and authentication record. And we can see our access point has passed the authentication method. And the following policies that have been applied are the one we have configured. We can see that we have successfully used 802.1x authentication type with the IPTLS method. Now we are going to connect to the switch to see if everything is fine on this side. So we are connected on our switch and we are going to check the information we have. First, I flushed the port dedicated for the access point in order to restart the authentication process against UPAM. Now I'm going to see the detail of the authentication with the command show UNP user details. And we are able to see that we are successfully authenticated, and UPAM returned us the access role profile we just configured before that map the current access point to a VLAN. So everything is okay on this side. That's the end of this demo, and I hope you enjoyed. In this video, we have discussed the authentication method supported by OmniAccess Stellar Access Points and how to implement them in a large-scale network by minimizing the number of configuration steps with a focus on automation and security. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.